What's up everybody, it's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and in this video I'm going to be continuing my Overpowered Level 8 Sniper Zer0 playthrough. The last episode concluded with us making it to the Iridium Blight after going through the Angel's Core sequence. So we're on our way right now to the Info Stockade in order to find information about Lilith's whereabouts, because obviously she was captured at the conclusion of that sequence as well. And on our way there, unfortunately, the bridge is going to be locked or raised by Hyperion, and we're going to find out that we need to blow that up, per Brick's brilliant plan. And in order to blow that up, we are going to need to go to the Sawtooth Cauldren, which is the home of another faction of bandits like the Bloodshots on Pandora, this time called the Sawteeth, who are also at war with Brick's slabs. So Brick's going to send us in there knowing some intel about these guys, and we're going to use Brick's intel to help us defeat them. Now, on our way to them, though, we do get to drive through the Iridium Blight, which I find to be a very beautiful map that gives a very ominous feeling that you are getting close to the end of the game. I thought that the volcano that you can actually climb up and the lightning, as well as all of the damage that the Iridium has done to the map, were all very nice touches, and it gives you, like I said, a very ominous feel in this map, and I think that's pretty cool. The aesthetic and style of this map is very well done. So now we are here to the Sawtooth Cauldren, and this map can be very difficult. There are going to be almost inevitably several damage over time enemies that we face along the way, and they may cause us some serious trouble. Beyond that, there will be some blaster enemies as well, both nomads and Goliaths. And if they actually are enemies that are going to have elemental blasters, we may run into some serious trouble. So what we're going to do right here is purposely jump down to where we aren't going to have to fight through everything that's down there. We're going to try to jump right here on this shipping thing so that we can turn right in here and get to the basement of the Buzzard's Nest. Bricks wants us to go up the elevator right to the Buzzard's Nest right away, but that, much like the bridge to get to the stockade, is going to be inaccessible because the Sawteeth will not let us climb it. It's one of their security features, I guess. This guy has a shock damage over time shotgun, so I'm going to kill him real quick. Not only because he's very dangerous with that shock shotgun, but also because it gives me a Grim and follow-through bonus, which will help my survivability a little bit. We're going to blow up that little propane tank back there, because that's where I'm going to retreat to for the start of this section here, where we are going to have to kill some nomads and other stuff. Caustic Goliath here, we definitely want to kill that guy before he causes a damage over time to us. Now, the enemies here aren't infinitely spawning, but they are plentiful, and so that's something to watch out for. Blowing these guys up right quick, and that'll be something for us to watch out for. This ambush commander appears to have a Torg assault rifle, which is a pretty powerful weapon for bandits to have, unfortunately for us. But we killed him, and that's good. Trying to hit this scavenger here, but his backpedal is causing me a little bit of trouble. And he's actually worn off his slag right now, so want to re-slag this guy right quick. He has taken some good cover after he picked up all this ammo for us. And we're going to try to kill him right quick. Excellent. Finally killed him, and so that was good. Dealt with that guy. Midget Goliath over here, will kill him as well. So there are still 3 more ambush commanders to kill. Ordinarily, they spawn a lot closer than where they are right now. I don't know if they all possibly got stuck on each other or what's actually happened here. Looks like we've dealt with most of the other enemies that spawn, though, or at least the enemies that spawn close to us. As I say that, another little rat spawns. That's kind of cool. It seems like the Sawteeth are accepting of the rats. I don't really remember the Bloodshots being accepting of the rats. They kind of segregate them in another part of their sewer, as opposed to where this rat appears to be integrated with the rest of the Sawteeth. So that guy has a damage over time weapon, and his backpedal was intense. So we're going to try to deal with that guy. Try not to let him hit us here. He is up there somewhere. There he is. I like that he's coming down because it makes him easier to hit, but at the same time I don't like it because it puts him closer to us with that weapon. Oh my gosh, his backpedal is ridiculous. So we dealt with him. I don't know where these other ambush commanders are. That's a little bit worrisome, but not a huge deal. So definitely a good thing there that I had my deception after that lunatic bomber got us, because I needed to get away there and wait for some transfusion trails to come in. I really am confused about where these ambush commanders are. It looks like, yes, they did get stuck on top of each other. Maybe we'll be able to bore them. Excellent. So that is weird. That usually does not happen. I think I might have seen a shock damage over time weapon back there, so that'll be something to watch out for. I saw that that lunatic bomber was approaching, so I did go ahead and throw my transfusion grenade, my deception there, to let him blow himself up, because we've already had trouble with one of those guys before. This will be the last ambush commander for us to kill, and theoretically after this guy's dead, we could just go ahead and escape this area, but I'm actually going to kill this outlaw and then head on back over towards the ammo machine that is right here, because on our way to the Boombringer we may end up needing some ammo, and only having 51 rounds of ammunition really isn't the best situation, especially since we can just restock right there. Now instead of going out the same way we came in, I'm going to go out this way, because it puts us a little bit closer to the next area that we have to actually leave to hit the objective marker for, and that should potentially get us through some of the enemies that will spawn a little bit quicker. There's only one enemy here right now and one behind me, and I'm just going to kill that guy, get my Deception and Grim bonus, and run out of here, or my Deception, Grim, and follow through bonuses, so that I can get out of here and hopefully, you know, avoid having to kill every enemy in that area. Now that we're out here, it's a little bit more open. There are some threshers that can spawn in here. I know that the wormhole threshers, which are called rift threshers, I believe, in Ultimate Vault Hunter, can spawn, and they can be a little bit difficult because they'll draw you in and stuff. But I don't think that any badass pyro threshers can spawn in this area, which is good because those enemies are obviously very, very difficult. Compared to your average thresher, I would say that the badass pyro threshers are definitely the most dangerous badass enemy, you know, relative to what a standard thresher is, because a standard thresher is relatively non-dangerous, and a badass pyro thresher is a seriously damaging enemy, something that is very difficult to deal with. So I want to actually clear out this next area, because as we go up to the Boombringer area, we may be in some trouble, because that area can be pretty damn tough. I think I saw a shock damage over time gun back here, so I'm going to try to kill these guys. But the backpedal mechanics are giving me some serious trouble right now. Let those transfusion trails come to us. That midget Goliath may begin to absorb aggro for us, which is good stuff. Alright, yes, there is a shock dam. No, I think it's just an amp shield. Keep in mind that all nomad amp shields, or not nomad, all enemy amp shields actually function as B shields. They do not lose their amp after they fire a shot. So those actually are very dangerous, and you have to deal with those appropriately. So, I'm not too worried about those enemies behind us anymore, and we're going to concentrate on killing the enemies in this next area down here now. Looks like there's a Caustic Goliath and an Outlaw here. Luckily, the Caustic Goliaths don't apply a damage over time from distance, and I was able to notice that guy a little bit early there, and so that worked out well. I thought that was a heavy nomad for a second, and I was really worried, but being that it's just a head crusher, we'll most likely bore him like we did there. So that was good stuff. Guy appears to have a Torg assault rifle, and he is a scavenger, so his backpedal mechanics are definitely going to be on point. Knock him back a little bit, which will cause him to refrain from shooting us immediately as we exit Deception there, which was good because I was really low on health. Alright, so it appears that we have dealt with all of the enemies in this little area, except for maybe one outlaw over here. And I purposefully ran up into this little peninsula because it's going to cause, hopefully, the buzzards to spawn after we get over here. Missing the critical hit here on this Raging Goliath. That's okay. We'll kill that guy, and then we're going to concentrate on dealing with these buzzards now. Because otherwise we would have to deal with them while we would be dealing with all of the other enemies and turrets that are going to spawn up top there. And so that's something we want to avoid. I find that the Corrosive Lyuda is probably the best weapon in the game for dealing with buzzards. They're just very vulnerable to that weapon, especially if they're in the range at which the spread will allow you to hit 3 critical spots at once, which does happen, you know, at a fairly good range and fairly common range for fighting buzzards. Going to draw a few enemies back into this area where I know that I can take on just a few of them at a time, because I know that that area up there is very populated with enemies, including buzzards. And buzzards require you to seek different kinds of cover than you do from ordinary enemies, you know, vertical plane cover as opposed to horizontal plane cover, which you would take for normal enemies. And because of that, I find that that area up there can be very chaotic and put you in some bad situations. And ordinarily, I just kind of try to get a mini must fall chain that will allow me to sneak through that area, cause Boombringer to spawn, and then get out of that area very, very quickly. I don't have that luxury playing with Sniper Zer0, so I'm going to pick and choose my targets here, engaging them only a couple at a time, so that I will be able to work through it without issue, hopefully. That is the plan, at least. I'm not sure if these buzzards are infinitely spawning, but I know we've killed like 4 of them or 5 of them already, and there's another one in the sky already, so that's a little bit bad news for us, because like I said, those buzzards are very dangerous. Get this guy coming back towards me, and we'll finish him off. Down to 32 rounds of ammunition, but we are getting close to the end of these enemies here, and obviously as we get back down to the elevator, we'll have access to that ammo machine. So ammo's not really my biggest concern at the moment. I want to deal with these gun turrets a little bit before I charge into the Boombringer control console, because you know, they have a high fire rate and they're difficult. This guy's cover mechanic is solid, and he's hiding from us, so we'll go over to this guy here who is a little bit less covered. Goliath are so fat that they're actually easy to hit with the Pimpernel, or easier than normal enemies are to hit, and so that's kind of cool. Especially since their critical hit spot is covered, you know, by their helmet. Excellent. So I guess maybe the buzzards are infinitely spawning. I'm not exactly sure here. But, you know, they're dangerous, that's for certain. This guy's been hiding the entire time, not really helping out his friends too much. He used up the last of my ammo there, but he did go ahead and drop a little bit more ammo for us. Those guys that had just spawned there are definitely bombers, so we don't want to deal with them. Hopefully I got the the optional objective there to run away and not look at the explosion. And now we can sneak back down into Mortar's area. Now, ordinarily I just kind of one-hit Mortar with a, you know, Deception Execute, and I'm not sure if he's going to require extra attention here. When I get close to the elevator, he is going to spawn, and because of that, we're just going to get ready to kill him. Takes a little bit for that elevator to actually spin around, so I was confident that I would actually have time to get my ammo bot before we dealt with him. I was missing those critical hits. Go ahead and apply the Fire Lyuda now. Ooh. Wow, he is a dangerous enemy. Get our Deception out there. Perhaps I should try to hit him with the Pimpernel. He's a roof-type rat who, his head movement is very violent. Very, very, very violent, and it's making me have a lot of difficulty right now dealing with him. If he would sit still for a minute, I would be able to hit critical hits on him and finish him off, but his desire to sit still is very, very low. Throw a preemptive slag grenade here, and then I'm going to hit him with a killing blow in the critical spot. Wow, that was a more dangerous fight than I had expected. Like I said, I've never actually had to fight Mortar before, because I just kill him with a critical hit execute most of the time. Maybe it's not even a critical hit execute as much as it is just an execute that kills him. Obviously, you know, fully boosted by the melee bonuses that Melee Zer0 has. That guy is ordinarily pretty easy to take out, and I was not expecting him to be that difficult there. I didn't ever know his mechanics before, so I went into that fight a little bit blind, but we were able to take him out. So there are going to be both bandits and buzzards that we need to kill up here. See if there are any exploders that are coming near me, and deal with them appropriately. Oops, I forgot I had switched my Pimpernel order here. You have pretty good coverage here in this area, and I've used this before to take out... I should not have switched my Pimpernel order. I'm going to switch that back. Alright. Yeah, so this particular place I'm hiding at right now, in the elevator, will give enemies good shots on you if they're in this very narrow field of view that you have out of that elevator. And theoretically, if they just run 5 or 6 guys right there, it could be easy for them to finish you off, but they'll kind of head in there one at a time and then backpedal out of there pretty quickly, I've noticed. And so that is a pretty easy way to deal with them. Take out one of these buzzards here. Excellent. So 2 out of 5 buzzards down, 40%. I constantly calculate percentages in my head when I'm working out. You know, like counting how many reps I'm going to do, how many, you know, percent done I am with a set, and how many percents done I am with, you know, an entire group of sets as well. And it helps me get through that. And so when I play video games, it's something I do as well. I also do it when I'm running. You know, I calculate perhaps the total number of steps I'm going to need on a treadmill in order to finish it, and how many of those steps I've actually taken and stuff, calculate the percent done I am, and just stuff like that to try to keep my mind occupied while I'm going through it. So we've got through this section now, and that's good because, like I said, this section can be very difficult. A couple more enemies are spawning here. They hadn't yet been aggroed, but having a Grim and follow-through bonus is never going to be a bad thing. Oh, that's our support buzzard. I thought I was going to have to kill that buzzard. I should have known. Alright, so a Gravedigger here. Gravediggers are weird enemies. They throw corrosive grenades all the time, but they don't apply ordinarily super heavy damage over times. And they can be difficult to actually hit critical hits on as well. So I know that we need to jump off the east side of the tower, I believe, which is this side, right? Is that correct? Yes, the east side of the tower. We're going to jump off that and get headed back towards the next area. There is a heavy nomad there. I'm just going to try to put some cover between me and him. That may have been a very bad move on my part. That's why I'm sticking close to these rocks and other cover here, so that hopefully I can get to this fast travel station a little bit quicker. Throw my deception decoy over there and head back to the Iridium Blight. Now that we're here, we need to go back to that bridge that we started this episode at and head on into the next map. Now this next map may be very, very difficult for us to deal with because we have to go to these pumping stations and stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm going to cut the episode off before we go there. Interesting. I think this episode has been of an appropriate length so far. It usually takes a significant amount of time to get through the Sawtooth Cauldren, and I know I spent a little bit more time on it than usual, so I'm debating closing this episode out. I guess we are. This is going to be the end of this episode here, guys. I'll go ahead and give you a quick look at my gear and skill build before I end the episode here. The reason I'm kind of cutting this episode short is because I did buy a Wii U today to play some games with my little sister who is in town, so I figure that should be interesting, and I probably shouldn't spend like an hour recording right now. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. I'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.